1. Wisdom is the ultimate reward you reap for a lifetime of listening rather than be the one uttering words. Sometimes it's better to keep your mouth shut and your ears wide open. Great and wise men first learned to listen before they became who they are. 2. Listening is one great way of showing respect instead of being unruly. Listening perfectly portrays the sincerest of respect. 3. Making listening a habit will you good than with speaking words. It's when people listen that they truly become wiser. 4. The people who are likely to have many friends and companions are those who excel at listening. If you often hear out what people have in their minds, you are likely to win them as your lifelong friends. 5. Success can be gained by talking, but listening offers far better excellence. Great individuals are shaped and honed with the ability to listen to others. 6. Listening can let us be shaped into far better individuals. No leader in the history of mankind have had not listened to someone in his lifetime. 7. The finest literatures in the world was given birth by language, and language by listening. Even Shakespeare had to spend some time soaking in ideas from individuals that surrounded him. 8. Relationships stand firm through the storm, not by talking but by listening. Successful and fruitful relationships are brought about by the power of listening to one another. 9. The key element of good communication is the ability to listen to the things unsaid. There are times when listening requires more than our sense of hearing. 10. When people utter words, bear in mind each word. Not everyone was given the gift of listening. Be among the one to stand out in a deaf crowd. Listen to words that no one else would care to hear. 11. When you listen, do it for the sake of understanding and not just to build a reply. Conflicts get fueled when people only listen to burst out their emotions than to seek wisdom. 12. True friends listen while fake ones care less to lend an ear. If your friends are real, they will not hesitate to hear you out. 13. Good conversations often come from listening well. No matter how intimate a conversation is, it will never end up good without lending an ear with one another. 14. Doing anything else while listening isn't fully listening at all. People can only do so much but not listen eagerly while at the same time doing something. 15. The reason why we were given a pair of ears and just one tongue is so we could listen more than we could talk. It may sound like an irrational way to defend talking too much over listening, but it definitely gives us the big picture. 16. Human bridge gaps and worlds through communication. And storytelling if you want to communicate better with someone, or a fair number of people, tell them a story that they'll never forget. "17. Quite often, those people who tell great tales end up in wonderful stories as well. If a man preaches good things, great and unimaginable things will happen to him." 18. The future holds great things for those who are poets. It's not literally poetry, but rather the people who are great communicators become future leaders. 19. The human race learns through thinking of images and captivating those images by means of stories. Whether you're a teacher or simply want to leave your mark on people, the best way to do it is through communicating with stories. 20. The reality we live in can be very complicated. The best way to simplify it is in the form of stories. This goes especially to those people who have children. The larger concepts in life can be made simple simply by telling someone a story, which is far easier for minds to digest. 21. Keeping stories in mind leaves lifelong memories. Sharing those stories make them last forever should you wish to have your stories remembered more than just how long your life can last. Tell them and share them with everyone. 22. If you're telling a story, pick a big one or don't tell one at all. The stories we tell bring meaning and inspiration to those around us. Tell everyone a grand story rather than something nobody would care to miss. 23. The meaning of stories unravel without creating the blunder of defining it yourself. There are instances where people have different viewpoints to each opinion, but storytelling tells otherwise. It gives meaning without creating uncertainty and doubt. 24. The world has been long shaped through our ancestors' stories. Those stories are the reasons why we exist in this world. Today, aspiring leaders can change anything in this world, but first, those individuals must first be willing to chance themselves and their stories altogether. 25. An American Indian proverb once said, "Those who tell stories rule the world." 'Tis true. Individuals who express themselves through stories become leaders and great people in history. 26. There's nothing far hurting than having kept a story within your head. Leaving a legacy need not be all action. It must also be through the stories that you have shared all your life. There is no greater relief than telling your stories than keeping them to your grave. 27. Stories bring people to world unknown and things unheard. Storytelling not only conveys your thoughts, but also sparks the interest in many and leading a creating an innovative generation. 28. There is no real enlightenment in life if there is no transparency and truthfulness. Then and only then can we achieve peace and harmony throughout our lives should we choose to become truthful. '29. We need to be truthful to ourselves and say no to those people and things that are not doing us good. The key to rediscover yourself is through living forthright. There are those who fall prey to those who oppress and tell lies. Break free from these chains that bind you by living your life with the truth and sincerity. '30. There is nothing more priceless than a truth said and done. Telling the truth and living with it is a lifelong reward. '31. Success comes to play when accountability, transparency, self-definition, and truthfulness merge as 1 inch. There's more to success than meets the eye. It's not for the faint of heart, and especially not those who are unwilling to change their ways. '32. Great leaders achieve greatness by passion and truthfulness. It's not about what race you are, but how truthful you can become. Leaders are lifted high and exalted for their selfless passion and truthfulness. '33. Tough times often bring about our natural instinct to become truthful. People tend to break down their walls and show who they really are and what situation they're in, especially in desperate times. '34. Be the person who you really are and not a copy of someone else. Sometimes people are too influenced by others to become who they were meant to be. Believing in yourself and being truthful to that belief makes anyone a better person. '35. Be genuine, be authentic, and not just a person others would want you to be. Don't be ashamed to become who you really are. People will accept the truth once they begin to see it in. '36. There are those who trample upon your existence but do not falter. Instead, become the brighter star and outshine them all. When people persecute you, it is often because they are afraid of what you might become. Continue being who you are and you will later on be more than anybody else. '37. Be yourself because it is beautiful. Why would you stop showing yourself and create a facade to conceal your true self? Life is beautiful and so are you. There's no reason not to let the world know who you are. '38. Your true being isn't portrayed by how others see you but by how you show others. The truth is, people will continue to believe whatever they see, and whatever you do, be sure it truthfully signifies your true self. '39. The truth can never be kept hidden. It is like smoke that rises in the air that does not go unseen. Never tell a lie or live with a lie. The truth will always come to pass anyway. 40. Authenticity comes at a price of integrity, transparency, and vulnerability. These are the factors that make something or someone genuine. 41. Being ourselves is more of a gamble. There is the risk of persecution and there is the risk of winning big. The truth always comes with a price. It is never easy, the stakes are high, but the rewards are even bigger. 42. Concealing the truth in exchange for safety is not the best path to dwell. In desperate times, the truth demands to be sealed, but doing so comes with a hefty lifelong price. 43. With the truth within you, it is easy to become a better person than anyone else. There's no shame in admitting the truth. No matter how hard it may be, the truth is always the best choice too. 44. A transparent heart and a sincere life comes with no persuasive equal. The driving force of influence is easily achieved through living your life with no restricting walls. 45. The combination of kindness, honesty, transparency, and humor all work harmoniously for one common good. No matter how big or small a group may be, it will always require key factors to keep it standing strong. 46. The absence of transparency creates the wall of distrust and confinement of insecurity. The actions we do and the decisions we make creates a ripple effect. 47. When things and people are transparent, they are likely to be void of judgment and constraints. People are less likely to think negatively of something that is purely positive. 48. Transparency makes the soul easier to see. When we live truthfully with transparency, nobody can judge us, ever. 49. Transparency is both seen physically and mentally. Transparency coincides how we do things and how we think of them. 50. The life we live should be as transparent as the freedom we have. It's pretty clear what freedom is to us. Now, it is who in turn needs to be transparent. 51. The truth never hurts a transparent and just cause. When we see truth, it unfolds immediately without trace of doubt. 52. Never mistakenly take transparency for love. Love is a beautiful thing, and so is transparency. What your soul shows in transparency might not be the contents of your heart for love. 53. The peace we so long for is also transparency for all mankind. It is when we have attained one transparency that we could have peace. 54. Democracy is the transparency being portrayed like peace. Transparency brings about the freedom of democracy. 55. For anything to work, accountability and transparency must be present. The truth is, for people to truly live harmoniously, they must first be accountable and transparent.